What's up everybody, this is Cheese Mr. Poof and welcome you back to Tamriel Tuesday, weekly dose of Elder Scrolls Legends gameplay on the Cheese Mr. Poof channel, and without further ado, let's check out the deck that we will be playing today. But there's a twist. The deck isn't ready yet. What does that even mean? Let me explain myself, and here we go. Today I will be giving you a guide on how to draft in Versus Arena, and we're going to be starting out with the Crusader. Now, the reason I'm doing something a bit different this time around is because I just couldn't figure out an interesting deck to brew for the ranked ladder, so I thought, hey, I've been playing a lot of Arena lately, even on my streams, so why not make a video about how to draft Arena, because I feel like there's not enough content on Arena versus, decks on the ladder constructed in Elder Scrolls Legends, so I figured I'd probably chip in a little bit, and yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to go through every pick. There's 30 cards to pick for your Versus Arena deck, if you didn't already know. So we're going to go through them all. I'm going to tell you why I'm picking what I'm picking, and what you should pick, and what you shouldn't. And yeah, let's get on with the video. Alright, we're here, and this is the first sweep of our picks. Naturally, I'm going to close out Intimidate entirely, because Intimidate is too much of a use case scenario card. You really don't want this card in Arena. Yeah, it can probably give you a huge swing, but most of the time it's probably just going to be a dead card, because it doesn't even replace itself. It's not a cantrip, so it might actually just be a dead card. So the choice is actually just going to be between Trial of Flame and Crassius Favor. And, okay, both of them are actually quite good. Crassius Favor does give you 2 bodies on the board, and has the possibility of giving you more life, which is pretty good in Arena, because there's a lot of aggressive decks going around. But Trail of Flame is also really, really good when your opponent is trying to flood both sides of the lanes, and you can just pop this, and it's actually going to be pretty good. I mean, it only is one lane, but the one that has more creatures, you're going to do this. It's going to be probably fine, but in this case I'm going to be choosing Crassius Favor because I feel like we're going to get more aggressive picks. This one is a bit more difficult, but I already see 2 very extremely strong cards in this set of cards. So I'm going to close out Greystone Ravager just because, I mean, it is a prophecy, so it's still powerful and a great pick. I wouldn't even be mad if you picked this card in Arena. But between Moonmoth Castellan and Warclaw Mercenary is the real battle here. Rally is so busted in Arena. If you get a lot of Rally creatures in your deck, and if you get those buffs to trigger, it's gonna be bonkers for you. And this, Moonmoth Castellan, if you get the plot to trigger, so if you can draft more early game, like 1 drops, 2 drops, 0 drops, you can actually trigger the plot quite nicely, and you will get an extra card, so it's value. But because we are playing Crusader, I'm going to try to go for an aggressive build. So we're going to be drafting some early game. So now we already have 2 drops. And next up. By the way, these are all very good cards. Ambitious Hireling is probably not the most exciting pick, so I'm probably not going to put it in the deck. But, so now it's a battle between Gavel and Savage Ogre. Now you might be thinking 7 drop, that's pretty expensive if we're trying to go for an aggro deck. But first of all, we're only 2 cards in to the draft, so we could still go mid-range and stuff like that. Also, that's very bright, sorry about that. So yeah, and Savage Ogre is actually fine even in an aggro deck in Arena. And that 5 attack out of nowhere, it's huge. And Gavel of the Ordinator is actually one of the best pieces of removal. I'm gonna call it removal even though it's not actually killing things, but it will kill a thing. Because this makes trading so good for you and so bad for your opponent that it's crazy. So it's a really tough choice, but because we have some early game like Warclaw Mercenary, and having Warclaw Mercenary live through a battle is very important, I'm going to take the Gavel here. Now we already have 3 2 drops, so we should try to avoid picking too many of those, even though 2 drop is a very good Magicka cost for your creatures in a limited format. Well, like I said, 2 drops are pretty good, and Relic Hunter is totally fine. Bushwhack, again, too much of a use case scenario, but if we get more plot creatures or spells later on, I would recommend picking at least one up, maybe. It is not like the best card, but if it is there to trigger your plot and you can maybe get a good trade in, it might be okay. But the pick here is Rift and Lawkeeper because it has Breakthrough, it's a 4/4/4, so it's fine stat line, and you do gain 4 health, so if you're actually behind on the race, this guy is gonna help you get back in the race. So we pick him. Okay, this one is actually kind of interesting. I told you before that Rella is really good in Arena. So, Serenity Scion and Veteran Battlespear are very good cards, both of them. Like, if you get this early on, you can start the Rally train, it's gonna be good for you. Also this, giving you that health boost, very good. Firepot Spider is actually pretty good for trading as well. But against 2 Rally cards, I'd rather take the 3-drop here. It's going to be more value in the late game if we draw it. 1-drops, I mean, they are fine still in limited in my opinion, but I will take the Battlespear over the Serenity Scion because this will be more value in the late game as well. And you did hear me say before, Rally is huge. I thought I was gonna sneeze, but I didn't. Okay, I'm not. Okay, it's fine. So yeah, other things that I do actually enjoy in this one is the Bone Bow. Now it only gives you 1 attack, and it costs 2 magicka, so but the silence can be absolutely massive. You can silence a guard, you can silence a rally, you can silence a lot of things. Or a big last gasp ability. But 6 health is really hard to take care of, and we already have the Warclaw Mercenary and the Veteran Battlespear for the Rally deck. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go for the Cool, even though the silence would be really good to have. I would go either Cool or Bone Bow, but I'm gonna go for Cool here, and Crass's Favor, really not a pick in this one, because both of these cards are very high importance. Alright. Grappling Hook and Halal Oathman. Because Firepot Spider, again, not too high impact, so I'm not really looking at it here. Halal Oathman doesn't get you the full value in Crusader because you can't get your Agility card online and get that 3 extra magicka, but it does draw you a card, so it's not totally bad if you can actually get the red cards in there. We actually have only 1 right now, so I wouldn't put Halal Oathman high on the list, but the Grappling Hook is actually a very good card. 4 magicka, +3/+2, and you get to move an enemy creature into this lane and it loses cover, so very good for trading, and it's a pretty good buff. So yeah, we're taking the Hook. Okay. Now this one, normally I would be just like debating between Mighty Ally and Honorary Kagauti, and I would actually close out Fabricant entirely because we haven't had any neutrals yet. And then we would have to rely on getting a neutral later to actually get full value out of this card, so that's why I'm not really excited about the Fabricant. We don't have that many red cards in the deck, so Mighty Ally might not be triggering very often, so it's just gonna be a 3/3 for 3, which is not bad. But Honorary Kagauti is a 3/2 with Breakthrough, and we did get another 2-drop in the slot. Now this one is actually a pretty interesting one. What probably stands out to you when you see this spread is the Rajini Highwayman, because draw a card. An excellent ability to have on a creature. But actually, in my opinion, the pick here is Ashlander Zealot. And the reason I think I would take this over card draw is because this is not guaranteed card draw. And it's a 2-health creature. It needs to be a Pilfer for you to draw a card. So it's not guaranteed. And if you just play this as a 2/2 for 3, and they play something much better than a 2/2 for 3, you're gonna be behind quite a lot. But if they play something like a Serenity Scion, or another high-impact 1-drop, you have your Ashlander Zealot ready to go and battle it out. So I'm actually gonna pick Ashlander Zealot. Now I did mention that Kagauti Fabricant will get better with neutrals. Now we could have one, but over Battlespear, Zealot, actually I don't think we need a second Zealot, so 1 is fine. You don't want too many 1-drops in your arena deck. I think the pick is here it's just going to be Red on Battle Spear. Because again, the rally is very, very powerful, and this is like an all-round good buff. So we're taking the Battle Spear. I'm going to say no entirely to the illusory defenses. It's a prophecy, and prophecies are known to be quite powerful, but it doesn't do much. Halal Oathman again is card draw if you can get the strength card in play. But I know it's a 1-drop, but Take Off the Dagger gives you a +2, +1 and a breakthrough, so it's actually playing into our theme of the deck here. Okay. This is actually a difficult decision. Now you might be thinking Gavel is very good, so let's just take Gavel. But there is a case to be made for Rehard Horseman, because we are running Dagger to Dagger, the Gavel, and all these Battle Spears. So the Rehard Horseman could actually get buffed quite consistently. And lower Canton Smith is actually a lot of value in it of itself, so I am really leaning towards the Gavel here, because we're already kinda thick on 2-drops, but because we have so many spears already, and a Gavel and a Dagger, and a Dagger, I will be picking the Rehard Horseman. Now you might be thinking, lower Canton Smith, get the Steel Scimitar, good synergy with Rehard Horseman. And I'm probably thinking that too, but okay, Vivek City Pilgrim, also Drain, Exalt. Exalt is very good in Arena, so don't count it out, but in this spread there's only one MVP, and that MVP is Clockwork Apostle. That +4/+4 is amazing, and it comes with a 3/3 body, so you would be a fool not to pick this card. It's a 7-drop, but you're gonna get to turn 7 in Arena. I'm almost guaranteeing that. We can count out Skivaton. We're not doing that, we're not going there. So it's between Cool Lawkeeper and Aldrune Armsmaster. Now I ask you to look at the curve we have right now. Currently in the 3-drop slot we have Cool Lawkeepers and Red on Battle Spears. So we only have 3 3-drops, and we only have 2 4-drops. So I'm actually going to go for the Eldrune's Armsmaster here, another Rally creature, also charged, so it can be used for trading, or just going for that last 2 damage to the face. Alright, I would count out Dark Harvester. If you were going for a more slower deck, I'd actually recommend taking Dark Harvester, because Prophecy is good, and it's going to be guarding you, it's going to be giving you 4 health. So it might actually be good, but no, we're not taking Dark Harvester. Also, Legion Prefect can be pretty good when you're this low on the curve, and you're going to be flooding the board a lot. But I think the second Warclaw Mercenary might actually be the pick here. So we're going to take it. Now it's between Rampaging Minotaur and Raiding Party, because we're already very heavy on 2s, so I don't want to pick too many of those. And what can I say? This is interesting, because this is 2 different creatures, so if you get like a big board buff later on, it's going to be more damage, but because we have so much Rally in the deck, I'm actually going to take the Rampaging Minotaur. Now this does kind of screw up our curve of going like up and down, but I think it's going to be fine. The pick here, Servant of Dagoth, is actually quite good, but I don't see us going to 5 power naturally. I mean, we do have Rally, so we actually could go there quite nicely. And Valen Wood Huntsman is kind of, I don't know about it, but yeah, I think the second Gavel is just here. 1 health is always kind of a hustle because of stuff like Ashlander Zealots and all other ping effects. So yeah, I'm taking the second Gavel here. Also helps with the Rehard Horseman. Reconstruction Reconstruction Engine is a no-no. Don't pick this card, it's not a good idea. Shrine Guardian, if we were going for a more control-y deck, again, would be an excellent pick, but Dawnstar Healer is good because we're going face, we're going to be breaking runes, so we're going to get that health buff, and a 3/3 for 3 is not even bad. So we're taking it. This is quite interesting. Light of the 3 effect of giving +2/+2 to every friendly creature in the lane where you put it is absolutely huge. Markarth Bannerman, giving you 2 Nord Firebrands when you attack, also huge. But the most aggressive card in the spread is False Incarnate, because it's a 5/4 for 4, so it is even stronger on the attack than the Markarth Bannerman. And it also denies health gain for opponents. So this can be really clutch if you need to like make sure that drain creature that's gonna hit you for 7 is not gonna hit you for 7 and drain. So we're gonna take the False Incarnate. A very interesting pick here, 2 1-drops and a 5-drop. I'm tempted to go for another Dagoth Dagger, but I also think we could flex enough to actually take a 5-drop. Execute is also just fine if you want to just throw in that 1 piece of removal. But I think Dren Bodyguard is actually fine to soft out the end of the curve a little bit. Oh, right, this is a bit more difficult. Because, again, I mentioned how we're pretty thick on the 2-drops already. So another Crassius Favor is not something I want to get myself into. And Ratway Prospector, granted, it's quite good with like items, because it always hides itself after it attacks. But we don't want too many 1-drops. I mean, I guess 3 is like... You want your 1-drops to be around like 1, 2, 3 maybe. Maybe even 4 if they're like actually high impact 1-drops. Warcry is not half bad either, but this can be a dead card. So I will take the Prospector. Calm, not high on my list of cards to pick. Ravenous Crocodile can be good, but again, 2-drops. We got plenty, so Servant of Dagoth might be good, because now we also have a good curve to go into, with False Incarnate being a 5-power creature, so it can actually just trigger the Servant of Dagoth. So we take the Servant. Now 2 2-drops and a Rehab Battle Mage. Rehab Battle Mage has huge synergy with all the items that we have collected throughout this draft, so I think it's just a must pick here. And now we get 2 Prophecies and a Dwarven Spider. Okay. Don't pick Dwarven Spider. Even if you get 1 Halls of Dwemer, don't pick it. No. Cliff Hunter is actually a fine creature in Arena. In Constructed, wouldn't recommend it, but in Arena it can be pretty clutch if you get it. But the obvious MVP here is Morkul Gatekeeper, All-Star in Constructed, and All-Star in Limited as well. Also we get a Prophecy in there, which is nice. Bog Lurcher can be very, very good, but just remember it dies to stuff like Ashlander. Fabricate is something I would pick here if we were trying to go a bit mid-rangey or slower. But Aldrun's Arms Master, again, charge, rally, go straight into this deck. Okay, so now the pick is between a 0, 4, and a 2. I don't want to raise the 4-drop slot any more than this, so Warhammer is out, even though it's an item and it gives breakthrough. Unfortunately, I have to close it out because of the curve. So I will be taking Bruma Profiteer. Because no 0 cost, because we don't have any plots, so it's not a good idea. These are both way too use case scenario cards to actually even be considered, so we have to take the Housecarl here, but Housecarl is still a very good card. It's a 2/2, but it has Prophecy and it does give you +2/+2 and guard to a creature you wanted to give the buff to. So it's not bad. Illusory Defense is a no. Because we don't have supports in the deck, Ruin Archaeologist is just a 2/5, so we're gonna have to go with the 2-drop, but it's a Prophecy creature, so it's actually not that bad. Nope, yes. Lethal is good, but Clockwork Apostle is way better. Okay, last pick. Commonaton Heavy, Bruma Profiteer, and Ash Berserker. We don't need any more 2-drops. We could actually do a 4-drop. 5-drop It's a plot, so probably not going to be triggered that often. Ash Berserker is going to give you card draw, and it's going to be amazing because you only need 5 power to trigger it. We have plenty of items to even give to Ash Berserker itself, so if you want it to trigger itself and draw cards, that's also going to be fine. And it also has synergy with False Incarnate, and, well, Clockwork Apostle if it gets the buffs. And we have so much Rally in this deck, so it's actually probably going to be buffed quite consistently. So it's the Berserker. Alright, that was a wild ride of going through the draft picks for this Crusader deck, so yeah. It's not over yet, because I'm going to give you an exhibition match to give you kind of like the preview of what our deck can do and how it should be played in Arena. So yeah, let's cut right in that one.
Arena hero.
Drank Argonian, the cartographer, is our opponent for this match. Also, I look so bright because the sun is shining very harsh into the apartment, so I'm sorry for that. All 2 drops, which is quite good actually. But because this one is a prophecy and gains us health, which is probably not going to be needed quite yet, I'm going to toss this away and keep the Kagauti and Warclaw Mercenary. Eldrune Arms Master is fine. It's a 4-drop, so it's not going to be played quite yet. But we are actually going to be curving quite nicely. So we're going to use a Ring Charge here for an aggressive Warclaw Mercenary, and I think I can afford to put it here.
The Warclaws earn their pay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it can be fine here.
If
Also,
it wasn't
hello.
valuable, they wouldn't lock it up.
Alright, that's fine. So we still draw the Priest of the Moons, which is kind of unfortunate, but we still have a Ring Charge to use for the cool Lawkeepers here. But first, let's get the Rally Trigger and see where that goes. Okay, it goes to the Eldrune Armsmith, which is quite good because we get more charge damage, so surprise trade. And I'm just going to be playing the cool Lawkeeper here, in the same lane as the Mercenary, trying to get another piece of value from the Warclaw Mercenary. And if we can get multiple Rally triggers stacking up, it's going to be really good for us. Okay, he hits the Reverberate. That's quite interesting. So now we have some choices. We can use a Ring Charge and get Eldrune Master and get the trade here. We can also use Gavel and get the trade without actually dying and giving an attack buff to Cool Lawkeeper, which is something I'm actually considering here. Let's actually do that.
You took a wrong turn.
So we use 1 card, which allows us to trade profitably with a Relic Counter. We still have a 3/3 with Guard and Rally on the board, and we get the buff to the Ornery Kagauti, which we can now play using our last Ring Charge. I'm playing it here because if he wants to do more shenanigans, I have something to try to help the trades out with. That's a Trebuchet. Okay. Now this is an interesting situation, because we could just go Eldrune Armsmaster and hit, but because of the Trebuchet, it's going to be dealing 4 damage to a random enemy at the start of our opponent's turn. I probably want to save this to possibly use for trading against the Trebuchet here. Priest of the Moons is not high on the list to play here, but I'm thinking I put Red and Battle Spear on my cool Lawkeeper. Actually no, not the Lawkeeper, I'm gonna put it on the Kagauti. Now I have 2 Rally creatures, one of which is a 5/6 with Rally and Breakthrough. And we're gonna break the rune. And you shouldn't be too scared about breaking runes in Arena, so
You took a wrong turn.
just like keep going in there. If he hits here, it's bad. Face is the best place to get that hit, and we did get one of the buffs to Eldrune Armsmaster. Now it's a 4/5, so it can actually charge into the catapult. I mean Trebuchet. That's an interesting
I
card.
seek Sulfasil's knowledge.
See, we have the breakthrough, so this is actually going to be quite good for us. So let's break through first. And then break the rune. Now we dismantle the trebuchet. Our Priest of the Moon is a 4/4. Our Written Lockkeeper is a 5/5. We have 3 creatures on the board. They're at 15, we're at 26. They don't have much, and we have a lot. Shell Carpigans. Does trigger because of the puzzle box, actually. Doom Smuggler. That's actually pretty good. We can still kill it, but now we actually just do a trade. So yeah, we're gonna have to take this trade. No other way about it. We got the buff on the Ash Berserker, so it's gonna be triggering itself, which is huge for us. And then, we don't want to attack with the 5/6 first, obviously, to not trigger rune right away. So we get the guaranteed 3 damage, and then go for the 5. And we actually get a prophecy here. Now, this is a rare occasion in Arena. I mean, depends what kind of a draft the opponent had, but... Okay, Daring Cutters, that's actually fine. That's not too high impact. Ash Berserker is a 6/5, so we're going to be playing that. And Priest of the Moon is 4/4, so might as well play that as well. So we're gonna play the Ash Berserker here, and the Priest of the Moon here. So now we have a very good spread here, and it's not looking good for our opponent, and we do still draw a card. And you can see like that, almost by the snap of a finger, we win the game. So there you saw some, a small taste of how powerful something as small as Rally triggers are in Arena. It's actually huge. And yeah, I'm not going to be playing through the whole Arena run, because if we do well, it's going to be 7 games, and that would make for a really long YouTube video. So I just wanted to make a more educational video this time around, focusing more on the picking of cards phase than the actual combat with cards and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed this very different take on Tamriel Tuesday, and if you want to see more Arena videos, just drop a comment down below. But if you want to see the traditional Tamriel Tuesdays come back as soon as possible, also tell me about that if you want. So yeah, that has been all. Thank you all for watching, have a wonderful day, and I hope I'll see you on the next one.